Hello everybody and welcome back to more of the Labyrinth of Grisaia. In the last episode, Eddie Money came back. We met our new lieutenant, who was kind of weird, some kind of rich guy, but you know what, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He was a nice guy, a little strange, but hey, everyone's weird in their own way, you know, so let's continue on, shall we? Let's see, what can our squad accomplish? There was no one here except idiots, cowards, and lunatics, and unless I relied on them, I wouldn't survive. That was just a fact. Dramatically christening ourselves the Bush Dog Platoon was all well and good, but the Marines still saw us as a slapped-together hodgepodge of loose ends. In other words, we were a disposable unit. A single phone call or slip of paper could send us hopping from right to left. They'd use us and abuse us until it simply wore out. Soon enough, we really were being mobilized all over the place, usually in the role of reinforcements. On one particular aggravating occasion, they gave us 2 weeks' worth of food and ammo, then sent us into the mountains to hunt gorillas, while also installing underground personnel sensors known as tablets all over the place. No matter how we buried those things, they just kept getting dug up by the enemy, so we buried them again and again, and whenever we encountered the gorillas, we had no choice but to fight. It didn't matter if rain was falling or if the wind was howling, the enemy kept showing up. They didn't care if it was morning or night. They didn't care if we were eating or shitting. The attacks came at all hours without warning. At first, we established a sentry rotation for when we set up camp at night. But on rainy days, our eyesight wasn't any more effective than our personnel sensors. Eventually, we all began to sleep sprawled out on the ground with our equipment still on.
ビクビクするなよ。ショーティーを見てみろ。ちゃんと寝たふりをしてるだろ。軍では休めと言われて休まんやつは、かかれと言われて逃げ出すやつと同じだ。休めるうちに休んでおけ。
ああしてべったりと地面に倒れていると、まるで死んでるみたいだな。
Oh, don't say that, please.
バカ、ジーニーがそう簡単に死ぬわけないだろ。見なよ、耳を地面に押し付けてうつ伏せに寝てるだろ。ああやって寝ていれば敵の足音にすぐに気がつく。人間タブレットってわけだよ。
なるほどね。さすがは風見教官だ。寝姿すらためになる。自分も真似をしよ
う。ああ、起きた。
Where's the lieutenant?
寝る前にクソしに行くっつって、まだ戻ってきてねえよ。
Someone go call for him. The enemy's approaching.
マジかよ。エディ、ちょっと隊長呼んできてくれ。
う。わかった。
本当だ。おい270、800メートル先のタブにわずかだけど対人反応がある。
どうした？敵かね？まだはっきりとはしないが、ショーティーが敵だと言っている。どうなのかな、ロビー。
確かにタブの反応はありますね。でもはっきりとしない。何らかの野生動物の可能性もあるし。
私はジーニーを信じるよ。
私も信じよう。これは敵だ。
また逃げますか？
そうだね。そうしよう。リバースフォーメーションのアルファだ。風見、君が先頭になって逃げよ
う。Raj。
さて、どっちに逃げるかだけど、ロビー、部隊の配置図を。
最後に更新されたのは2時間前ですが、時間的にもおそらく大きな変化はないかと。
では90度の方角に逃げよう。ちょうどそちらに2部隊が配置されているから、逃げながら敵の規模を確認して、彼らに無線連絡して協力してもらおう。
釣りのぶせですね。
そういうこと。かったるいからさっさと終わらせよう。また朝まで追いかけっことか、もうたくさんだよ。
The Bush Dog Platoon and its ability to retreat backwards in the face of potent guerrilla units eventually became fairly well known across the battalion. Once HQ knew they had an effective piece of bait on their hands, we began to receive many orders to assume that role in an operational capacity. But of course, our enemy wasn't stupid either. The more we used our basic strategy, the less effective it became. But even in the darkness, my stomach nearly turned itself out every time I shot an enemy. Whether I could see them or not didn't really matter. Every time I pulled the trigger, I was picturing the moment my shot would reach the target. Staring through my scope at the field of inky blackness, I'd fire my rifle while imagining the impact that would follow. That alone was sufficient to get my puking party started.
ショーティー、大丈夫か？
Not at all. Feels like I'm gonna spit my stomach out. My head's pounding.
今後方の連中がこっちに増援を向かわせてる。もう少し耐えてくれ。
How much?
ロビー、
あと20分ぐらいだよ。このまま交代しながら合流する。
Not what I meant. How much? How much of the enemy unit is left? How many more of them? Do I have to kill?
そうだね。あと17人殺せば敵は全滅するかな。
17?
やれるかね。
That's a lot. I don't have that many bullets left.
よし。では弾を集めよう。誰か 7.62 ミリを持ってないか。薬莢が51ミリのやつだ。無茶だ。これ以上はショーティーが潰れちまう。
Danny, dump some leaves and dirt on my back, will you? I'll stay here and act as a static gunner.
抜けたこと言ってんじゃねえぞ。ダチを置いていくぐらいなら死んだ方がマシだ。いいかショーティー。ダチってのはな、最後まで裏切らねえ。最後まで見捨てねえからダチなんだ。
You're so cool, Danny. That's why I love you.
笑ってんじゃねえよ。つか笑ってる余裕あるなら立てよクソが。
ジーニー、死んだ敵の G3 から弾かっぱらってきたよ。これ使えんだろ。ほらこんなにいっぱい。
メリー、てめえ余計なもん拾ってきやがってショーティーを殺す気か。
ジーニー、もうダメなの？後で抱っこしてあげるからさ、もうちょっと頑張ってよ。
メリー、
Right. I can't embarrass myself in front of a girl. It's fine. I can keep killing.
いいぞ。それでこそ私のジーニーだ。私、ジーニーと一緒なら敵が何人いても全然怖くない。だからさ、頑張って。諦めないで。ね。
Well, there's no time to be lying around puking, I guess. Let me have those bullets.
よし。ではここにミリエラがかき集めた 7.62 ミリが9発ある。この弾を使って敵を9人殺してくれたまえ。できるかな？
No problem. I'll kill. 9 more. It's fine. I'll kill. I'll kill them. I'll kill them no matter what.
よし。では風見、君はここで固定放題となるんだ。煽っておくかね。
I'm fine.
そうか、それは結構。実は後に切らしているんだ。
Why'd you ask?
バイカ、ショーティーが残るなら俺も残るぞ。
いやいや、彼をここに残すのは確かだが、我々は前進するんだ。
前進？
ダチを見捨てるわけにもいかんしな。風見を最終防衛ラインとして我々は敵に向かって前進するのさ。
話が通じるじゃねえかよ、J。やっぱあんた、イカれてるぜ。
勘違いするなよ。別にみんなで仲良く全滅しようってわけじゃない。増援が来たら真っ先に逃げる。全力で逃げる。それまでは踏ん張る。前向きに踏ん張る。それだけだ。ロビー、
交代せずに増援を待つとなると30分ってところですかね。
よし。じゃあ30分ほどここで頑張って、それでも増援が間に合わないときは私が風見を担いで交代しよう。それならなんとかなるだろう。
Sorry to make a nuisance of myself.
君がいなくなったら私は明日からコーヒーを入れるやつがいなくなるからね。お互い様。
どうでもいいけどよ、打って出るなら早くしないとしんがりのエディがやられちまうよ。
No, we can't have that.
よし、ヤブ犬正体、反撃に出るぞ。
Nafoo! I know, man. I know how you feel. War's hell, isn't it? Man. Killing our own fellow man. Horrible. No good can ever come from warfare.
やれるかい、風見。
9's gonna be tough. I'm starting to see blood in my vomit. If I throw up again, I won't be eating anything for a while.
覚悟はいいかね。
There's no time. Just do it.
目を閉じたまえ、風見雄二。
I will. My eyes were spinning. The darkness was so profound that I could barely even see the bed of earth I laid on. Whether my eyes were open or shut made surprisingly little difference as to what I saw. The fact that I could feel them spinning her anyway probably meant my sense of balance was beginning to go haywire. However, the darkness wasn't solely a negative thing. It meant that I didn't have to see anything I didn't need to. When you see nothing, it's easier to control what you visualize.
聞こえるか風見雄二そして見えるか風見雄二今君の目の前で君の仲間たちが敵と戦っている
My comrades.
そう君と同じ目をして同じものを見て同じものを食べ同じものと戦い同じ涙を流してきたとても大切な仲間だ
Dear friends?
ダニエル・ボーン大雑把な男だが面倒見はいい君にとってはダメな兄のような親友だろう
Oh, Daniel.
ミリエラ・スタンフィールドロバート・ウォルソンエドワード・ウォーカー彼らは皆大切な君の仲間であり家族じゃないか
I hate to say it, but he's right, you know. I may not like some of them, they may get on my nerves, they may annoy me at times, but you know what? They'll die for me. It'd be hard for us to find many people to do that.
そんな彼らは今君を守ろうと必死に敵と戦っている
The enemy.
そう敵だ見えるだろう敵は人間じゃない緑色をした巨大なクマだクマを倒せ風見雄二必要な時非常になれない人間は自分の手を汚したくないだけの偽善者だ殺すたびにゲロを吐く引き金を引くたびに気が遠くなる辛いよなでもそれが戦争だよ風見雄二無力に生き残るか力強く死ぬか選ぶのは君だどうする
I'll kill them. I'll kill our enemies.
よしならば戦え責任は全て私が取る殺せ風見雄二私が許可する
Thank you.
まず一匹
I'm sick of it.
二匹目
I'm sick of quivering with fear.
三匹目
Of sitting by, helpless.
四匹目
Of watching people I care about die.
五匹目
I've had enough of that for one life.
六匹目
There's no point in living if all I can do is cower in fear.
七匹目
I'll kill them all.
八匹目
Danny, Millie, Robbie, Eddie. They're all my comrades, my friends.
ラスト九匹目
Anyone who wants to take them away is my enemy. And I'll kill all my enemies.
よくやった風見雄二貴様は最高だ疲れただろう休んでよし
Not yet. There are still enemies left. The enemies just keep coming. I have to kill them. I have to kill so many more.
休んでよし休め風見雄二これは命令だもういいんだありがとう風見雄二あとは任せてもう眠れありがとう
My eyes were spinning. The world was spinning around and around me. And in time, my mind fell silently into darkness, as if sinking into the mud deep at the bottom of the sea. Lulled by the sounds of a battle taking place somewhere very far away, I fell calmly into a peaceful sleep. time, some part of my deeply unconscious mind recognized the sound of a song, and my eyes opened once more. I felt terrible. There was a painful heaviness in my head, and the back of my nose was aching. I probably had a fever. A smell like burning plastic was lingering deep in my nostrils. It was a very familiar feeling. Someone had most likely given me a dose of anti-inflammatory medication. Her, maybe?
気がついた？
What happened with the battle? How many days has it been? Where are the others?
落ち着いてジーニー。もう終わったよ。
Over?
増援が合流した時点で敵は逃げてったよ。
I see. Is everyone alright? Please tell me everyone's alright.
ジーニーがきっちりと9人削ってくれたおかげだよ。みんな感謝してる。ダニーがあいつを信じろって叫んでた。
So, it's over. I survived again, huh?
ジーニーは死なないよ。あんたには私がいる。仲間がいる。何も怖くない。やばくなったら逃げればいい。逃げる時も後ろ向きで全力だ。ヤブ犬正体なんだからさ。
Sorry for the trouble, Malalia.
まだ寝てなきゃダメだよ、ジーニー。
I'm fine.
私が平気じゃない。まだこうしていたい。ダメ？
Just a little longer then.
それと、もう銃は離していいんだよ。もう敵はいないから。
From what Malalia said, I'd apparently killed exactly 9 enemies, but I didn't remember it that clearly. It almost felt like I'd just woken up after a long nightmare. Killing was something I did alone. Maybe that's why it made me sick. It was different when my comrades were with me, following the same road, taking in the same sights. When I was with them, I could see things I was ordinarily blind to. I could even see myself, the way I really was, reflected in their eyes. As long as I could see their faces, know they survived, I could convince myself that I was doing the right thing. The right thing. After 2 months or so in a war zone, you get used to a lot of things. And at the same time, you start to grow numb in a lot of ways. A bit of gunfire no longer startles you. An explosion nearby no longer makes your heart jump. You learn how to make your dwindling rations last longer. Stripping weapons and ammo from corpses of enemy soldiers becomes routine. And when you're done killing, you head for the nearest town to sleep with women. We'd seen lots of things no one should have to see. We'd done lots of things no one should have to do. Everything about this place was insane.
アリソン、コーヒーを入れてくれ。アリソン。
How many times do I need to tell you? Allison's dead. Get used to living without her already, Jay.
そっか。そうだな。すまないが風見、コーヒーを入れてくれ。
We don't have much left. Make sure you savor it. By the time you start talking about the death of your comrades as if it's a joke, the process has already set in. When violent death becomes commonplace, it's nearly impossible to stay sane. At the time of our arrival, we'd all thought Lieutenant Mike Meyer was deranged, but by now, he was starting to seem like one of the more moderate cases. Next week, a fresh wave of reinforcements would be arriving from the rear. No doubt they'd look at us and see a bunch of complete lunatics. And of course, they'd ask the same question that new arrivals always asked.
どうだ、この戦場は勝っているのか？
さあな。殺した数と殺された数で比較すりゃ多少勝ってるのかもな。
そもそも戦争ってのはどうなったら勝ちなんだ？俺たちは何をすれば勝つんだ？
そんなもの知る必要はないし考える必要もない。俺たち兵隊は言われたことを言われた通りにやればそれでいいって学校で習っただろう。
Once you grow accustomed to the battlefield, details like where you are and who you're fighting against start to seem increasingly insignificant. The only thing that matters is that you and your buddies are still alive for now. But of course, if someone you ate breakfast with in the morning is gone by nightfall, it doesn't exactly come as a shock. That was just the nature of this place. It was hard to accept, but easy enough to understand. In the midst of the perverse atmosphere of resignation, or perhaps fatalism, I heard a story from one of my platoon mates.
なあみんな、口を縫われた男って話を知ってるかい？
I have not, but you know what? I think we're going to hear the story in the next episode of the Labyrinth of Grisaia, so I'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Have a good day.